What's going on, guys? Taimanin Amazing here. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, I wanted to go over some SR supporters that I think are very good for people playing Action Taimanin, man. Because there are actually like a few SR supporters that I highly recommend you actually build out and definitely get to use on your teams here. So let's actually just go over a few of the SR characters that I have built up here that I think are worth actually investing in, and I'll explain basically the gist on why you invest in each SR supporter. So the first one's going to be Homura. Homura, I think, is like a must invest for anyone that runs like a red build on a character, because you increase damage dealt to all enemies and you increase your damage taken by 10%. So basically it makes you more of a glass cannon when using Homura. So but like the thing is with Homura is like, because you're doing 30% increased damage dealt to all enemies, you don't really have to worry about you getting 10% increased damage taken, because you're going to be outputting so much damage that it doesn't really matter that you're taking, you know, 10% more. So Homura is a really good investment. Like, I definitely would recommend 5-5ing her, because once she's 5 out of 5, she gets 30% damage dealt. At 1-5, if I have a copy, I think I have an extra copy of her. Yeah, 1-5 is 15% and she's 10% damage taken. So even like at 1 out of 5, it's not as worth as like 5 out of 5, but I highly recommend, like, you know, investing dupes into Homura. It's definitely worth it. The next SR supporter we have here is going to be Rinka. Rinka's really good because she increases the critical rate of melee attacks for your character. So if you're running Rinka, she's actually going to boost the crit rate, man, which is really nice. If you're trying to run like a crit build on a character, having high crit rate is going to make it so that you always crit. It's just like, you know, more crit chance. So Rinka's really good for that. The counterpart to Rinka for crit rate is going to be Faust here. Faust is going to give you increased critical rate on ranged attacks. So Faust is going to be very useful on both Emily and Yukikaze if you are going to be running them a full red build. And it's not bad, because Faust works like really well with Emily, because if you're running Emily, you definitely want to go like a crit rate crit damage build, I would say, just because of how much damage you're doing over time. I think Faust helps out with that a lot. And then you also have Ibuki here, which is going to increase the critical damage of ranged attacks. So you can actually bring Ibuki and Faust, and you can kind of chain crit rate crit damage on a ranged character, which is not too bad, right? Running an SR supporter. You also have Surase Suzuhara, right? And she's going to increase damage dealt on ranged attacks on snared enemies by, you know, a percentage of depending on the level, right? I think this is not too bad on like some builds here. Like if you get a character that has a snare build, that's going to be very useful. Another character that I highly recommend you get up, and is probably like one of the musts for getting up easily, is going to be Mai right here. Mai is going to be a DR link for your character. She's going to reduce damage taken from all enemies by up to, I think, what, 30 or 25%, I think, at max. I'm not too sure exactly, but I know it does scale pretty decently. Maybe 20% actually, but I know Mai is very good because she's just straight up DR, and having damage reduction on a mono blue is not even like that bad at all, really, right? It's actually pretty good. The next character we're going to be going over is going to be Mitsuki here. She's going to reduce the cooldown of supporter skills by, you know, a percentage depending on the dupe level here. I think she's like somewhat decent here, but I don't think you would really want to run her on like any builds, really. It's not too bad having reduced cooldown though, because if you are running like an invincibility supporter, then having her on your team could help. Because you're going to be trying to get that invincibility like quicker, you know what I mean? So I think in that case scenario, she's not too bad. But that's just, you know, a mention there for like a character you can use. The next one's going to be Arika here. She's going to increase damage dealt to bosses. So if you're focusing on fighting a boss here, if you have like, or if you're on like a stage where like you only fight a boss, she's going to be increasing damage dealt to bosses by 15% at 1 out of 5. So that's only at 1 out of 5, by the way. If I get dupes for Arika, it's going to go up a lot. Already doing 15% damage dealt at 1 out of 5, I think is very good. So like once you get dupes on Arika, she's going to be starting to do like so much like beneficially for your mono like red setup here on your character. I think like she's really good for like boss DPS. Another character you can actually use if you're running like a healing build is going to be Yuna here. She's going to increase the HP restored from all sources by 45%, and this also counts towards actual healing skills as well. So when it says HP restored from all sources takes into account healing skills from a character. So if you're running like Emily and she's doing her healing field, you're actually going to be getting increased HP restored from healing field when you have Yuna on your supporter right there, which is, or like on your character, which I think is really good. The next character we're going to be going over is going to be Momoko. She's going to increase your particle charge rate over time by 25% at 1 out of 5. So if you're trying to run like an ult rush build, then Momoko is going to be really good for that, and she's actually going to boost your particle charge rate over time, kind of rushing your ult, right? You're going to be getting it a lot quicker than you normally would, which I think is very beneficial. The final SR we got here is going to be Haruka here. She's going to reduce damage taken from human type enemies by 30%. So if you're facing like only a human boss specifically, Haruka is actually going to be a better link than Mai, because Mai is actually going to be a lot less in terms of DR compared to Haruka here, right? Because Haruka at 3 out of 5 is already giving damage reduction of 30%, right? Which I think is really good. So those are basically all the SR supporters in the game, guys, and like, you know, how viable they can be. I highly recommend, though, if I was to pick out a few that I would recommend building out early on, would definitely be Faust, Homura, Rinka, and Mai. Like, I think these are definitely the staples. Also having Yuna, I think, is also very good for like a healing build. But other than that, you can kind of just go about whoever you really want to build up at that point. I think those are the main picks you definitely should be building out as SR supporters. Yeah, that's basically going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a great rest of your day.